Hey guys, I am here at Covenant Tulsa for Ashes Weekend, a celebration of Ashes, Rise of the Phoenix Born. It's Friday night. I'm here with Fernanda Suarez, the lead and only artist for the game of Ashes, Rise of the Phoenix Born. All of the art that you see is done by her.
Yeah.
It's a miracle, honestly. So we got you here, Fernanda, and I just want to talk a little bit about these new Phoenix Born that have come out, both Bren and Rin. Particularly how you've managed to accomplish such totally different personalities, right? So you've got Rin, who's very like bouncy and happy, and then you've got Brennan, who's very broody and dark.
Yes, kind of mysterious.
So let's start with Brennan. Now I understand that this was the very first Phoenix Born you ever drew.
Yeah, so this was the one that we started, and I did the first version that did not work out.
Yeah.
So I ended up with the ones you guys see now. But yeah, this was just the first one, and I mean, Isaac told me about his world and how he lives like in a place that is made of ruins and is super ancient.
Yeah.
And if I remember right, he's the only young person in the entire place, so everyone else is really old.
Oh wow, yeah.
So it has like a city that's on the mountains with cold and it's very dark, and like everything is hiding and dark. So that was my inspiration for it. I tried to imagine how it was his world
And so, like, you end up with these features like this cloak, this hood that comes over, like playing to that concealing kind of hidden vibe, right? And this pose. It's kind of it's a strong pose, but it almost feels insecure. You know what I mean? Like, I'm ready, but I'm not quite sure if I want to take the spotlight. You know, that's kind of the vibe that I get.
Yeah, well, that was a bit of like his personality. Like, he's not really out there. He's kind of like in the shadow.
Yeah.
So I don't know, I really wanted to portray that.
Well, let's look at some of his cards here, particularly starting out with Chant of the Dead.
Okay.
Okay, so set this scene for me. So what kind of, you hear Chant of the Dead, Isaac probably says, hey, here's a little bit about the card. Where then does your brain go as far as what did you want this card to feel like? What did you want to transmit?
I wanted people to feel that they're watching a scene that they should not be watching. Like, you know, you're watching something that's a bit like forbidden.
Right.
So that's the feel that I wanted. Like, you're watching this kind of ritual and you're like, whoa, you should not be there, and if they will find you, they will destroy you. That's what I imagine with this card.
So you're like that guy sneaking around.
Yeah,
in the
like
background,
behind the corner, like, whoa, what is happening?
I should not be seeing this. Well, speaking of things we shouldn't be seeing, let's talk about the Dread Wraith, right?
Okay.
This is one of the most striking pieces of art that I have seen ever, right, on a card.
I'm so glad to hear.
So, I mean, where does this guy come from? How do you create this? This is in your head somewhere, right?
I did a first version, and it was really bad. It was really awful. So after I was done with all the Phoenix Borns, they made me redo this card. And he was like, you know what? So we have this death spirit that is really powerful, and like seeing the entire deck for Brennan, he really needed to be like striking. The other one was really weak for saying, so he was like, just make it look cool and powerful and badass. And I saw an image of a sculpture that was gorgeous, and it was in stone, and it kind of has that like cloth. On top of a person, and you kind of like see that effect. And I got so inspired, and I was like, whoa, that looks amazing. I want to use that. And I thought, well, he's kind of this like dead spirit, so I thought in that bag that he has, he could like hold souls that he collects or something.
Absolutely.
I don't know, that was kind of my inspiration.
Oh, it's perfect, and it is just wildly good. I'm just struck by it. So there's Brennan, and it's a very like dark situation. But we move on here to Rin, and already he's almost like he's dancing, right?
Yeah.
It's like he's. So tell me about like, so you take on Rin and you kind of sit down to start to sketch it out. What kind of material are you working with? Are you thinking whenever you first sit down to figure out what Rin is going to look like?
Well, at first I did a couple of sketches with a lot of poses. So Isaac could tell me, you know what, this one, that one, and he picked that pose.
Okay.
And first I made him like serious, like kind of like just in the bottle. And then he was like, why don't you make it like smiling, just like a easygoing guy?
Yeah.
So I imagine him just like going, running around snow and like playing, just kind of have like a more lighter view on his magic and his power, not like Brennan. I feel like Brennan has like a huge sense of responsibility or something like behind him, but Rin is just like, you know what, I'm just gonna go with the flow and
He's just having a good time.
yeah, he's just having a good time.
So with that, we have one of his signature spells, which is Ice Buff.
Yeah.
Now this is striking to me because it's a very magical moment, I feel like, in this card, where you have this ally who is experiencing magic firsthand, right? And I'm struck by like the wonder on this person's face as they see like the magic taking over on like buffing their hand.
Yeah, well, for that card, I needed to do something that was beautiful, like visually, and that has a kind of peaceful vibe. So she wasn't scared by the magic. She was just like, whoa, like this is beautiful, this is happening. And that's what I tried to show there.
Well, that comes across very well. And finally, for Rin, we have the Frostbite card.
I love the little frog.
So,
It's just dope.
So here's the question, really. Was the frog the kind of thing that you just kind of drew the hand and then you're like, well, we kind of need an extra magical element to round it out? Or did you start with the frog and then go from there?
Oh no!
That is Ashes, my friends. Go ahead.
Okay. No, for this one, the concept was the frog attacking someone. So that was the main idea, and I just needed to show that.
And that frog, like ice magic frog.
I think it's so
It's the
cute.
coolest thing.
I love it.
It's very cute. All right, and finally, we've got two Mist Spirits here. We've got the original, which you did a while back, and then we've got the alt art. And now my question to you is the alt art just a different version of a sketch that you had in the Mist Spirit, or did you do that after you'd already finished the Mist Spirit, you came back to it?
Yeah.
You come back to it?
I did the alternative version a couple of months ago or something. Like it wasn't too far away when I have already done everything else. And it was, I was trying to show like a different side of the Mist Spirit.
Yeah.
Because this one is very bouncy and happy, the first one. So this one is more like a bit, not dark, but a bit different, like during the night, playing around. And
and almost seems like it's actually like thinking about some things, right?
Yeah,
it's like
exactly.
Pondering or like being bothered by what happened during the day.
Yeah.
That's so cool.
That's
and
what I wanted for that one.
for the first time, has some little friends in the background.
Yeah, but they're looking, and you don't know really like if they're like friends or like enemies. Like I don't know. I want it to be like a bit mysterious.
Yeah.
So.
Beautiful. Well, my goodness, there's just a few of the pieces of art, not only from this new expansion, but from the game Ashes Rise of the Phoenix Born, from Fernanda. Very cool to hear her take on all of this, and it's really just a pleasure to have you, Fernanda. So thank you for joining us. And you can catch all of this art and more in the game Ashes Rise of the Phoenix Born. Buy it, play it, it is incredible. These particular cards are from the new expansions, and then the Mist Spirit is from the organized play system. So check out that alternate art Mist Spirit, and stick with us, guys. We got so much more coming from Ashes Weekend, and the art is bananas. So even if you just buy the game and look at the art, it is totally worth it. Trust us. We'll see you later, guys.
Bye.